involved in your district conference because we got a couple of speakers and he had given me a free hand. Wherever you want to invite, please go ahead and invite. And we had the best of the speakers those days. So I am here once again in Thane Hills. I have a lot of friends, but I am missing them here. First to mention Sharatai, of course. When she asked me, whom would you like to introduce you? I said, I'm missing that person, and that is Sharatai. And then, I mean, that was it. It was. And I know Suchita for a very long time. In fact, I would say from 2002, because we first met as we were doing the district trial. I was very new to Rotary, and that's how our journey in Rotary began. And then, of course, Ashish, how can I forget Jolly? Because before knowing him, he was the one who donated blood to me. You know? So we are blood relations.
Blood relations.
Yes. And because our B negative is very rare, and when his co-president Dilip Gatti sent out a message saying that I was the secretary that year, and that I was in need of the blood because B negative is very rare, and he was the one. We hadn't met each other, but that is how Rotary is. So I'm indebted to Joseph. That is, and I know so many shepherding, people take you around. But when you go as a traveler, you go on your own. And that is how my experience really built, on my travel interest in so many countries. Next. Yeah, it makes you more confident. It gives you more confidence and makes you literally more confident. Yes, I can do it, because normally we have butterflies in our stomach, when we go on any travel. Unknown place, how would the food be, how would the hotel be, whether we will be able to see the planned spots, tourist spots, something like that, But really it makes you a little more confident. Because what happens once you go to a new country, you are exposed to new culture, languages, habits, and once you come back, because normally we go with a closed mind, but once you go there in a country, you interact with people, you meet them, you travel, but once you come back, you really come with the blinkers off. And that is how you are able to see and relate to a much wider spectrum. Next. I would like to share a couple of photographs. These are really the clue givers. Because this photo which you see right at the bottom was when I went to JSC as a JSC team leader to Sri Lanka, and this was at the DISCON. I mean, it is a matter of pride for me when I was standing there, with my Tiranga fluttering there, and when we went on stage and our national anthem was played, I mean, it really gave us goosebumps. That was a very unique experience, because being in a foreign land and listening to your national anthem being played, definitely it gave a different kind of an experience. On top of that, you will see two, a gentleman and a lady. They were my host in Sri Lanka, in Colombo, and they were some similar to maybe the Tatas and the Ambanis, because as a JSC team leader, I was given the best of the host family there, and they were the only couple living in the heart of Sri Lanka, in Colombo, with a huge palatial bungalow. And they had given me the Mercedes at my disposal because they could accompany me to any club meetings in the evening during my stay, along with the house key. So when I went and met that, they had come to pick me up at Taj Colombo. So that was new for me. I mean, they were strangers, I had never met them. But when we met each other, I mean, it was such a strong bonding that after a period of 7 days, I was supposed to shift to another family. But they requested Claire Ravindran, who was the Claire trustee then from the same club, that please allow her to stay with us. So that is how the bonding is until date, because this I went in 2008, but till date we are in touch. So that is the bonding which this kind of travel gave us. And on the way when we are traveling from Colombo to, I forget the place, but this was a tea estate. So we halted on the way, and I asked that lady,
I think Numaralia.
Huh?
Numaralia.
Yeah, Numaralia, right. So I asked that lady, can I do tea plucking, So this was a different kind of an experience for me. As an RY youth exchange chair, I had the opportunity to go to Kutch, and I think ours was the only year when we were hosted as traveled to more than 30 plus countries. He has traveled to almost all the continents, so one notch up here at least. Uh, Excepting maybe Australia, the only continent he has traveled to all the 4 continents. Because he's a technical guy, so he has to go for tech transfers. So I said, I mean, what was so interesting about the travel? Because what happens is, the first night they open involved in your district conference, because we got a couple of speakers and he had given me a free hand. Wherever you want to invite, please go ahead and invite. And we had the best of the speakers those days. So I am here once again in Thane Hills. I have a lot of friends, but I am missing them here. First to mention Sharatai, of course. When she asked me, whom would you like to introduce you? I said, I am missing that person, and that is Sharatai. And then, I mean, that was it. It was. And I know Suchita for a very long time. In fact, I would say from 2002, because we first met as we were doing the district trial. I was very new to Rotary, and that's how our journey in Rotary began. And then, of course, Ashish, how can I forget Jolly? Because before knowing him, he was the one who donated blood to me. So we are blood relations.
Blood relation.
Yes. And because our B negative is very rare, and when his co-president David Gatti sent out a message saying that I was the secretary that year, and then I was in need of the blood because B negative is very rare, and he was the one. We hadn't met each other, but that is how Rotary is. So I'm indebted to Joseph. That is, and I know so many bad habits, I don't know, but I pick up a conversation, and sometimes as it really helps you, to at least take out the boredom of the travel. Maybe a person sitting next to you in a flight or in a train or whatever it is. So only talking to people really gives you different experiences, because sometimes you have something in common, you make good friends, sometimes it happens, so you keep good friendship with that person in the long run. This is one thing I love to do whenever we travel abroad. I like to stay in homestays, because this was the experience which I got through GSE. First time that was my experience to stay with a host family, and that is even before Airbnb came into existence. So after that we started staying in Airbnbs, and wherever we go, I prefer to stay in an Airbnb, because morning we attend our meetings or whatever it is. In the evening, coming home, we buy vegetables. We go to the market, buy vegetables and cook. It's a very different experience. So I love doing this. Rather than going to malls or eating out, it's okay. I mean, once in a blue moon, it's okay to go out and eat. But when you do this, going to the local markets, talking to them, if you see that people haggling, like what we do here in Mumbai also, or talking to them in their local language. So that is how I like to do it. So I make the point to visit all these small street shops. It is also a help to the people who are selling there, but also it gives you a nice experience. When you see those vegetable or flowers, it really makes your day. After a very tired day, in the evening when you come home, it's a very unusual experience.
Smriti, I'm just sorry to interrupt,
Yeah.
but I remember that when I was in Riga, in Latvia, she was there with me for 15 days or so, then she went back. Then for 2 months I was alone, and I was cooking and I was going to the marketplace. There, I would open the phone and then she would guide me, turn right, there is that vegetable wala vendor, buy from her.
Yeah, many times it has
Sorry.
happened because we stay
Just
in a
remembered
homestay or Airbnb, and that is the advantage, because I think thanks to that he's become a good cook, so I can do more of Rotary. I mean, this is more on the lighter side. Next. Now. Yeah, I think definitely it increases our knowledge and our perspective.
Next. I'll help.
Because what happens is, most of I'm not talking about countries like US or Dubai or Singapore. because I like more to travel on the European side. Lot of history. Russia. I don't know how many of you have traveled to St. Petersburg. Anybody here? If you get a chance, please do travel to St. Petersburg. A very lovely city, and especially I will talk about the palace stations and the deepest escalator, which is almost takes you 2.5 minutes, from top. So it is the world's deepest escalator.
425 steps.
Yeah, I didn't count the steps because I was watching the mobile, the timing. So that is how it is, especially the palace stations. Because what happens is we don't know the history of many countries. In school, whatever we have learned, we have left it behind, forgotten. But when we go to these kind of countries and these kind of places, definitely history. People who love history must travel to countries in Europe and Russia.
That's a Baltic.
Yeah, even Baltic. Yeah, I'm coming to that. One of my favorite. Okay, this is the concentration camp which we went when we were in Berlin. It is about 1.5 hours from Berlin, known as Oranienburg. And we almost spent a day there, but it was so, I don't know, I cannot express the feeling once we came out of that concentration camp. We could sort of visualize what those people must have gone. So I think this is little offbeat. Everyone may not like to go to such places, but yes, one must experience what kind of genocide those people must have experienced and what they must have undergone. Even kids, women. Whatever is written there or whatever they give through the audiometer, if you listen to whatever they have undergone, no human being should undergo this kind of experience, I would say. Next. Yeah, of course, new experience or resourcefulness is always there. People, I definitely think yes, because of travel, we have definitely changed a lot. Because what happens is we are at this stage where, we cannot change, we become little rigid. But travel, as a traveler, I think we have definitely changed our habits, our lifestyle. So when we come back, definitely we feel that yes, we have taken a little good, from that particular travel or that particular experience. Because sometimes we may get the early morning or wherever we go, there may not be a dhaba like here. There are motels or these kind of places. So okay, but here when you are here at home or in the office, मुझे 3 बजे की चाय नहीं मिली, मेरा headache start हुआ, we have those kind of fetishes. But when you travel, as a traveler, I'm saying that yes, we have to give up. We are forced to give up or change our lifestyle or habits. So this is what happens when you travel as a traveler rather than a tourist. Who not? Everyone would agree with me. If you see the first picture down, the parents and the kids, but when they have grown up, So memories, yes. I may not have made money, but definitely I have spent money. I said that is an investment because the memories, they will not vanish from my mind. And in fact, today when I was doing the presentation, there are so many photographs, because I tweet it little, new countries and all. So many memories came rushing to my mind, and when I spent almost 2 hours just rummaging through the picture. Oh, this we did done in 8 days, So it was all like everything coming back to me.
There was one day when just in 24 hours you crossed
3 countries.
three borders, 3 or 4 borders you crossed.
We traveled from Finland to Tallinn by the cruise, and then by bus we came from Tallinn to Riga, and then to Latvia, and then again we flew back. So like in Hindi cinema, मैंने breakfast morning इधर में किया, खाना उधर किया, और रात को उधर. So it was something like that, and it really happened with me. Of course, the memories I tell you, and stories. There are so many stories with each thing or each photograph. When we look up, go through the albums. So I think now everything is at your fingertips. Earlier we had to take a camera, but now it is just a mobile. So anywhere we go, 100, and then on the left hand side, along with me, if you see the couple, we met in that same homestay where we are staying in Frankfurt. They were in the neighboring room, and then they are from Montenegro, so we are still in touch. And the one on the extreme left is our business associate. This was in Thane, so we had gone for a dinner, lunch, and of course when you go on a business meeting or a business lunch, you have to eat whatever they serve. And I cannot forget, they had served wild boar meat, and that was so we had to, for him it's okay, he normally does that because there is no option, but I had to partake it and leave it because when they said this is a specialty of Estonia, I could not take it. So just as some मुझसे लगाया ना किया मैंने. So this is also one experience, one has to undergo when you go on business trips. Next. I think yes, we should enjoy to. We should learn to enjoy little things, because many times there may be small things like picking pebbles on the beach, or maybe the rains or the snow, whatever. You see the little hair going somewhere, you follow. So I think little things really, here in Mumbai, busy life, busy schedule, you cannot take time for all this. But when you go abroad, you have those lush lawns or the gardens, where you can just stop, spend some time. I think really that gives you a little, like it's a breath of fresh air in my say. So we should definitely learn to enjoy little things in life. I might say, because then you realize at times, this time will never come again. Because I don't know if I will be able to sit in a garden, especially, when we were in Germany, there was a EU flag fluttering above our head, and there was some protest going on. So we were sitting in the garden on the bench and watching, what kind of protest is this? So it happens, here in Mumbai, how many of us can go in a garden and sit on the bench at 3 in the afternoon, isn't it? This is the palace station which I was talking about. If you see the chandeliers, this is in St. Petersburg. So normally they take you on tours. And I don't know how many of you, when you travel, you go on walking tours. Anybody takes walking tours? Yes. I think that is the best part to see any city if you go on a walking tour, because the students of history or they are the students and you leave them a tip, and the most happy, and we like to take a small gift, a very Indian gift for them, and they're so thrilled to see, they immediately open up the gift, whatever is given, and they're very thrilled, and so that has also given us a lot of friends. On the right hand side, if you see that white cat, it is the first time I heard about something called a cat museum, and I was wondering what is a cat museum. I thought they are all dead cat stuff, but that was a cat cafe. That was again in St. Petersburg, because I think that concept was very novel that time, about 7-8 years back. So we went to that cat cafe, and as we entered, they gave us a passport saying this is Cat Republic, So that was also a very unique experience with our names, and we had to, before opening the door, they said say meow meow. So even we had to do that, and then jump into the cat cafe. So it was a very unique experience. And if you see that windmill, this is in Estonia. It's known as an open air museum where they have made this kind of things, like what Estonia was maybe about 1,500 years ago. So the whole thing, the village life, like we have the Chokidani here, but it is the open air museum what they say, and it is almost like it took us about an hour or so to just go through that and come. So this is the windmill which they had years and years ago. By the way, I know many of you must be knowing Estonia is the birthplace of sky. So it's a very beautiful country. So if you get a chance, please visit Estonia. I would say I'm an ambassador talking for that, but yes, it's a very unique country. So you must. It's one of the Baltic countries, like Latvia and Estonia.
Lithuania.
Next. I think it really fuels your curiosity. Why? Because constantly, you keep learning, and then you go to one country, you say, now what would be the next country? isn't it? So what is there? Because we went to Estonia, the neighboring country was Latvia, then it was Lithuania. Of course, these were all erstwhile part of Russia. But then the towns, the old towns, I think they are the best places to visit when you go. It's a walking plaza, so no vehicles are allowed there. So that is the best part, I feel, that as a traveler you can explore everything on your own. Why should I travel now? Because yes, if not now, then when? Now next. Because I think we are not getting younger by the day, isn't it? We are growing old. So now, since after post-COVID, after 2 years of the clampdown, again the flights have begun. I am not saying only out of India, but even in India, I think there are so many beautiful places. Because let me tell you one thing. I mean, we keep going to Goa, isn't it? How many of you have heard of Braganza House? Have you ever been there? Yeah. It's a personal property, and it belongs to the Braganza family, and it's a well kept sort of a I don't know what to say. It's not a palace, but it's an ordinary Portuguese style house, and the bed sheets are all of 100 years old, 200 years old. So if you get a chance next time, avoid one beach at least and go to Braganza House.
But it's maintaining by now Pyramid.
Okay, because when we went, it was their private property. So definitely have a visit there to Braganza House in Goa. Similarly, when we went to Bangalore, there is a place called St. Martin's Island. So we have to take a boat. It's a ferry ride, about 15-20 minutes. And the rocks there, they are found only in 4 countries. So Bangalore is one is in Ireland. There is a board there, by the, I think, the archaeological department or something. So I think that slide got missed out. But definitely it's known as Coconut Island or St. Martin's Island. So if you go to Bangalore next time, please visit there. Bangalore. Yeah. Not Bangalore, Mangalore. Yeah. So you have to start planning. Well, you plan, because when you go as a tourist, yes, you go with some tours. But when you go as a traveler, you should do your research first. What I want to see. Because what happens, normally the tours will take you to the touristy places, they will take you to the touristy hotels. The cuisine and all, the local cuisine, you will never get a taste of it. So normally, if you want to go as a traveler, please do your research, where I want to go, make a list of the places, and now everything is at your fingertip. Google God is there, so find out. Before I close, I would like to share that when we went to Russia, Moscow, there is a vodka museum. Have you heard of a vodka museum? It gives you the history of vodka, how over the years vodka was the transition stages. And as you come out, they give you a shot of vodka.
I spent the whole day there.
So that is one place. It's a sort of a suburb of Moscow. It takes about an hour or so by the train. So if you happen to go to Moscow, definitely visit the vodka museum. Because this is how we found out from the net. There's something called a vodka museum. Then why not? Let us go. So it's, definitely, as a traveler, you should explore these kind of places and have a different experience. So that's why I said research. You should research before you plan for your next trip. Yes, this really, I'm missing the travel because if I'm missing every time, whenever I used to post on Facebook, people used to ask me, "Abhi kaun sa country karne ka hai? Kaun sa country karke aaya?" So now, if traveling was free, definitely you would never see me again. Yes, it leaves you speechless and see, it turns me into a story traveler because with each photo, with each souvenir, there's a story, and then we go back to the memories. So friends, definitely, Varsha, I think I have addressed your inquisitiveness. She was very curious to know what is this, what is a traveler and a tourist. So Varsha, I think I have given you better insight into what it means. And thanks friends, it was really lovely coming and talking and sharing my experiences about my travel in your club. Thanks once again. And before I wind up, I brought a few souvenirs any mall, I like to pick up souvenirs. So I want very unique souvenirs which I would like to show. This is the Baltic amber, which is like a precious stone, you know. So this is found in the sea, the Baltic Sea.
Baltic Sea.
So normally this is what is they show. This is from Moscow. This is a lighter, but yes, that's why I got it. So this is actually a lighter, but now of course he has stopped smoking a couple of years back. So now
No.
it's a souvenir.
10 years back.
Yeah. So this is a souvenir. Yeah.
You do,
This was actually a
wife
lighter
never
for
appreciates
it.
it.
Some data of some old car.
Yeah, something like that. So it's a lighter.
Wife never appreciates it.
So this is one. And okay, this is something very unique. I don't know if you can guess what this is. This I got from Finland. It is made from the reindeer's horn. They shed horns. So it is, when they said reindeer horn, I said, do you kill reindeers? They said, no. They shed their horn like the antelopes and all, So this is when I said, I would like to, take it. So of course I'm not wearing it. It is just a souvenir for me.
The platinum chain.
Yeah. This is from Maldives. This is made from coconut, and lacquered. These are the clogs which the farmers, these are the small ones. These are the shoes which the farmers in Netherlands wear, the clogs. So this is also a souvenir. This is from Russia. It's a typical
Wood carving.
no, it's not wood. It is made from our maybe a leaf or something, which is dried. But see the intricate work which is done on this. So this kind of souvenirs I like to collect. Of course, this was my Kutch lanyard, which I went to run of Kutch, when we were invited by the Gujarat government. So we had to wear this all the time. Kutch is very much near the Pakistan border, Indo-Pak border. So we were supposed to wear. So this is more like a souvenir for me. I got two more and then I finish it. This is from Estonia again. This is from that open air museum. So maybe a paper cutter or a butter knife or something. But it was very unique. So I got this. Now this is from Riga. The cat has a very much importance. Yeah. Maybe have you been to Riga?
Yeah.
So you must have seen the cat with his on the stock exchange. There's some story which I forget. So this is what I got. This is like a bell. So this is one of the souvenirs.
Which topic is
Riga.
Riga.
See, Riga, what happens if you want to travel in the Scandinavian and European Baltic and the Baltic, Riga is this place. Everyone has to go to Riga. There's a lot of connectivity with Riga. So Riga has become now kind of a tourist place.
Yeah. And this is the last one. This is again from the Baltic areas. I think this is from Riga only, or maybe in Lithuania. So this is supposed to be very lucky charm. You roll up a note, maybe 100 or 500 rupee note, and keep it, and hang it. So it gives you prosperity and whatever. So this is also a souvenir which I picked up because I like the lady bug here. So well friends, thanks a lot.
Magic bag is great.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I had some